Pragmaticus from his book, The Histories. Quote, many again say that the Jews were a race of Ethiopian origin, who in the time of King Cephas were driven by fear and hatred of their neighbors to seek a new dwelling place. Maybe the confusion of the black Jew versus white Jew might not go back to race at all, but rather definition. See, the word Jew, which is short for Judah, from the Hebrew Yahudah, was not a word that was used in describing the Yahudiym, or the descendants of the people of the tribe of Judah, across the board until the 15 and 1600s. Mainly because the words Jew and Judaism are not Hebrew at all, but rather English. A language that didn't exist until the 5th century. Moreover, the letter J is only 500 years old. That being said, the term Jew, when introduced, had a different connotation than Yahudah. This is why the Jewish Almanac states, strictly speaking, it's incorrect to call an ancient Israelite a Jew, or to call a contemporary Jew a Israelite or a Hebrew. In the chapter Identity Crisis, compiled and edited by Richard Siegel and Carl Raines, New York, New York, Bantam Books, 1980. This fact is confirmed by several other Jewish sources, such as the Jewish Encyclopedia in 1905, or the Universal Jewish Encyclopedia in 1941, the Encyclopedia Judaica in 1971, the New Standard Jewish Encyclopedia in 1977. How can this be so? Well, this goes back to what is called the Khazar hypothesis. The hypothesis that draws on some medieval sources, such as the Khazar correspondence, according to which, at some point in the 8th to the 9th centuries, the ruling elites of the Khazars, a Euro-Turkic people from the Russian steppes, was said by Spanish Yahudiym, Yahudah Halevi and Abraham Ibn Daud, to have converted to Rabbinic Judaism and began to identify themselves as Jews. In the late 19th century, Ernest Renan, a Semitic scholar and expert in Semitic languages and civilizations, along with several other scholars, speculated that the Ashkenazi Jews of Europe originated among the Turkic refugees who had migrated from the collapsed Khazarian continent westward into Europe and exchanged their native Khazar language for Yiddish while continuing to practice Judaism. This is why later, Jewish geneticist Dr. Aaron Elhite, in his study in 2012, concluded, European Jews derived from the Caucasus and Mesopotamian population, and that the evidence for a Jewish genome is lacking. Or why Israeli linguist Paul Wexler, who concluded in his 2 books, The Non-Jewish Origins of the Sephardic Jews and The Ashkenazi Jews, a Slavic Turkic people in search for a Jewish identity, that the Ashkenazi and Sephardic Jews were descendants of Iranic, Turkic, Slavic, and Berber converts. Then there is Professor Martin Richards of the Archaeogeneticist Group of the University of Huddersfield, who concluded that Ashkenazi DNA stems from Europe and not Israel.